All right, today we're going to talk about what is, no joke, the single most powerful shortcut in the entire world of data. It's the secret weapon that lets scientists and analysts find a tiny, crucial signal in what feels like a universe of noise. Let's get into it.
So first, just take a look at this number on your screen, 2.5 quintillion. It's kind of hard to even wrap your head around, right? I mean, that's a 2 and a 5 with, get this, 17 zeros after it. It is an absolutely massive number. So, what on earth is it?
Well, that number is how many bytes of data we humans generate every single day. Yeah, every time you stream a movie, post a photo, use your GPS, you're adding to this gigantic digital mountain. And that, right there, creates a massive problem. With all that noise, how can anyone possibly find the important stuff, the actual signal?
Well, here's the thing. You don't have to. You use a very, very clever shortcut. Instead of trying to, boil the entire ocean, you just take a small, carefully chosen drop. And this simple idea is one of the most fundamental concepts in all of statistics.
Okay, so let's break this down. First up, we've got the population. This is the whole shebang. It's everything. Every single voter in an election, every customer who's ever shopped at a store, every star in a galaxy. In our little analogy here, it's the entire pot of soup you just made. You want to know if it tastes right, but you can't exactly drink the whole pot to find out, can you?
So what do? You grab a spoon, you take a little taste. That single spoonful, that's your sample. It's a small, totally manageable piece of the much bigger population. And here's the critical part. That one spoonful has to tell you the story of the entire pot. If it does, then boom, you've got what's called a representative sample.
And that, of course, leads to the million-dollar question. How do you actually pick the right spoonful? I mean, you can't just skim it off the top, right? You might get all broth and miss all the potatoes and carrots at the bottom. See, picking the right sample isn't just guesswork. It's a science all on its own. So, how's it done?
Well, there are a few really smart ways to make sure you get that perfect spoonful. With random sampling, it's basically like putting everyone's name into a giant hat and pulling a few out. Totally fair. Everyone has an equal shot. Then there's systematic sampling, which is a bit more structured. You might pick, say, every 10th person who walks through a door. And with stratified sampling, you get even smarter. You divide your population into groups first, like by age or location, and then you take a random sample from each of those groups. Each of these methods is just a clever way to avoid getting a biased, weird-tasting spoonful.
Okay, so you've chosen your method. You've got this perfect representative sample. Now what? Well, now for the magic trick. It's a field called inferential statistics, and it's where you take what you learn from your tiny spoonful and make a really, really good, educated guess. An inference about the entire pot of soup. Let's see how this plays out in the real world, because this is cool.
Check this out. This is a fantastic and 100% true story. How in the world did a huge retailer like Walmart figure out that there was a connection between a breakfast pastry and a hurricane? I mean, did they track every single item sold in every single one of their stores? No way, not even close.
They used the shortcut. Data analysts at Walmart looked at a sample of their sales data, specifically from stores in areas that have been hit by hurricanes in the past. They didn't need to look at every transaction from every store in the country, just a smart, targeted sample. And inside that sample, they found something strange.
Get this. In that little sample of data, they discovered that sales of strawberry Pop-Tarts shot up by 7 times their normal rate right before a hurricane was forecast to make landfall. I mean, how weird is that? An incredibly specific, bizarre insight, and it was found in just a tiny fraction of their total data. And that's the whole point, right? They didn't have to wait for the storm to hit to know people were getting ready. By analyzing that small sample, they could infer what the whole population was doing and make sure those stores had plenty of Pop-Tarts on the shelves. A tiny spoonful of data told them everything they needed to know about the giant pot of public behavior.
And this technique isn't just for Pop-Tarts, It's absolutely everywhere. Ever wonder how pollsters predict elections without talking to every voter? Or how drug companies know a new medicine is safe for millions? Or how Netflix just knows what you want to watch next? Yep, it's all sampling. This simple shortcut, it pretty much runs the modern world.
So, the next time you hear about some huge discovery or a wild prediction, remember the power of the sample. The biggest answers don't always come from boiling the ocean, but from tasting just the right spoonful. Which really just leaves us with one question, doesn't it? What other huge secrets are just waiting there to be discovered, hidden in plain sight, inside the next sample?